Greetings, greetings. Can you see my shirt? It says heavy on the self love. What an appropriate way to start a conversation around the holidays, right? We're told that this is the most, what is it? The most wonderful time of the year, right? And it is, but not for reasons that you would think. Hi, I'm Abena Otudor. I'm a health and wellness coach. And I help Black women transform their health physically, spiritually, mentally. And I'm here to help you. If you are willing to make the necessary transformations, the necessary changes, I'm definitely here to assist. So let's get into this discussion about the holidays. The most wonderful time of the year, right? We're busy with family, running around shopping, getting food, preparing to travel, making the children have everything that they need, and to a large extent, what they want, right? It's a busy, busy time, right? But have we ever stopped to think about this notion of this being the most wonderful time of the year and what that means now versus what it meant in ancient times, and how our people use the ending of the year as a celebrating of the harvest. So we would have festivals in honor in gratitude of the good bounty that we receive from the earth, right? So it's not just about gift giving. Would you be surprised to know that maybe you are the gift, right? We hang lights on our homes, etc. Would you be surprised to know that maybe that's symbolic for you being the light? Hmm. Interesting, right? Because if you are the light, then there's something that's shining forth from your spirit. You're giving a gift to the world by showing up as authentically as you can, being you. If that's good, great, make it better. If you're a person that's not so good and you've got some things you need to work on, now's a good time. And let me tell you why. Winter solstice is coming up. It's usually around the time that we officially go into winter. And that day is called the winter solstice. And the reason it's the winter solstice is the one day of the year when there is the least amount of sunlight. So this isn't a kind of an indication that, as opposed to like the summer equinox or summer solstice, the winter solstice is a time to go inwards. It's a time to meditate. It's a time to pray. It's a time to really, really get in touch with what your heart's desires are. And it's a much more open time, a time when the earth, the planets have lined up to help us meditate, to help us be still, to help us concentrate on what we want our heart's desires to be. As long as they're moving us forward, as long as they're not hurting anyone, it's a good time to sow the seeds of actually what improvements and changes that you want to bring forth. Now is a good time, right? So think about that, as opposed to bringing presents, bring your presence. That's Prescense, I think. I'll look it up in the dictionary. Um, yeah, bring your whole self, your full self when you show up at family gatherings. Or if you choose to have some downtime and be alone during this time, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. And you want to center yourself and get quiet and still and not do a lot of cooking, a lot of socializing, a lot of moving around. It's actually a very, very good time to be still. Um, you know, um, don't worry about, drinking and eating a lot of food. Much of what we eat um, tends to be heavy at this time. And when you drink, they call it intoxication for a reason, right? Because intoxicated, you're taking toxins into your body with the alcohol. And I know. Like, okay, Alvin, I draw the line right there because I'm going to get my drink on. I understand, but don't take my word for it. Just really study that word, intoxicated, and you will come to understand what's happening to your body when you take in alcohol. I'll let you be the judge. And another thing that comes to mind, especially for Black women, right? When we're loving up on everyone and everybody and making sure our needs are met, sometimes we forget to not be, we forget to take care of ourselves. And it's easy to do when you're caught up into caring for everyone else's need. I want to just briefly share with you how you might help to kind of do a bit of a shift, if you will, and turn that thinking around. One of the things I want to offer you is that you look a little deeper into Kwanzaa and Kwanzaa principles. The Kwanzaa celebration that is done from December 26th to January 1st is actually an African tradition that started here in America. Um, and it's centered around the notion of cultural appreciation for our ancestors. Um, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey gave us the red, black, and green, right? So we want to take that celebration of Kwanzaa and we want to look at the principles of it. The Nguzo Saba, right? The seven principles. That's what Nguzo Saba means in Swahili, seven principles. The first one is Umoja, which means unity. The second one is Kujichagulia, which means self-determination. The third one is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. The fourth one is Ujamaa, cooperative economics. The fifth one is Nia, which means purpose. The sixth one is Kuumba, creativity. And last but not least is Imani, which means faith. Black women, Black women, Black women, Black men included, Black children. Even if the world were to take up these principles and use them and live them every day, we would have a much better world. We would not be talking about wellness. We would not be talking about health. We will be living the principles of health, living the principles of wellness, right? So I just want to invite you to consider the origin of your holidays, your holy days, and what if you had a culturally relevant experience around this precious, most wonderful time of the year? Something new, something different to think about, right? Try it. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. And I will talk with you again. This is Abena. Please like, subscribe, share, and definitely consider and try some of the things that I've mentioned today. I'm sure you'll get pleasantly surprised. I'm leaving you now. I'm going to the storage and get my Kwanzaa decorations out. So take good care. And I'll be doing a winter solstice meditation as well tomorrow evening. Peace and blessings. Much love to you and your family.